Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have two collages for you. We're going to start with week 22. So this is a little out of order. I did 23 yesterday on my channel in case you missed it. This week it was a very low vibe. We had lost a family member, but I decided to do the collage anyways. But I just kept it very simple. Okay, so the prompts were people, something that turns or spins, something that starts with the letter G, a book page text, a date, and bonus was a sticker. So I have a group of people, which is what starts with a G here. The Highline dancer spins. And then, obviously it's a group of people. It's a book page. I put the date down at the bottom. So I hit all the parameters. It was so simple. I just had this book page that I wanted to use. And in the image was actually a Highline dancer. And so I like that I kept the context the same. Okay, jumping straight into week 24. Now, this one has anything that blows in the wind, something written in your non-dominant hand, something read, a piece of a dictionary page, a picture from a magazine, and the bonus was a measurement. So what I decided to do was grab all those things in these papers. So I grabbed the dictionary page, a red page. Right now I'm writing in my non-dominant hand, which is my left hand. And first thing I was like, love. And then I was like, okay, what about love? For the love of paper crafting. Am I right? So I'm going to write that out, and then I'm going to put some hearts. And basically what I really wanted to do this week is I wanted to create a grid on my background that had a representation of all of the prompts. Just knock them out in a grid. I thought that would be a really fun approach. And then I just went mixed media wild on it, which was just a lot of fun. And you'll see how this all comes together. I also decided to use my stash, which you'll see in just a minute. I had something in my stash that I hauled like a year ago and had not touched yet. So I'm excited about that. So I'm going to gather all my papers, and my magazine page that I'm going to use, it just was so narrow that because I'm creating a grid and I'm creating squares, I had to cut this piece out first because this is the only part that I wanted to use from the magazine. And I'm going to use that to determine the size, which my squares ended up being 1 3/4 inch squares. But that's kind of how I decided the sizes of my squares was based on my most narrow piece of paper. So then I took that same measurement and I cut all of my papers. So my For the Love of Paper crafting page, attempting to write in cursive in your non-dominant hand, kind of a bold move, Biddy Penny. I have this French and English dictionary page, and I found the word measure. They didn't have measurement, but they had measure, and so I put that in here. And at first, I was thinking of creating a pattern with each different piece of paper, kind of going, starting with the red and doing a dictionary page. And the leaves blow in the wind, by the way. That was my blowing in the wind prompt. And so at first, I was thinking of doing it like this, which when I go back and edit the video, I'm like, yeah, that looks cool. That would have totally worked. But then something in my head said, no, I think I'm going to wipe this all clean, clear the slate and start over. And I'm going to put them in rows. So clear it all off, start all over. And I commit like right away. I'm just committed to this. I'm going to do rows. And as I was going to glue down that red piece, I liked the back better. So I just included the back on that one. And now, really, a lot of this isn't going to matter much, to be honest, by the time I do all the mixed media on this collage. You're only going to get to see bits and pieces of all of these tiles, which is also okay for me. So I'm going to get these lined up and glue all of these down. I hope you guys are doing great today. It's Wednesday. I have a lot going on today. So hopefully I'll have the stamina to keep up. Yeah. Anyways, I hope that you're having a good week and that you have a good day. I have some new subscribers here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. I hope it's a place that you enjoy and that you feel inspired to create. Okay, so I get all that glued down and I wanted to outline everything because I really wanted to emphasize that, yes, these were little bitty squares. Well, not little bitty, but they're little squares that I had pieced together. So I brought in this black acrylic paint pen. It's a Posca pen. I kind of just roughly went back over all the squares, defining them more. And then I want some texture on my page, and I want to distress these tiles. I didn't want them at full strength. So I've got this white gesso and a silicone brush, and I'm just going to roughly place in some gesso around, and I am going to leave it kind of thick because I do want there to be a raised texture in some places. And so now I'm just kind of distressing these squares. So I'll have to set that aside and let that dry. And while I'm doing that, here are the collage sheets that I decided to use. I hauled these like at least a year ago, if not longer. And I'm so excited to finally break them out. But I just wanted, because I knew I was going to do so much mixed media in the background, I wanted kind of a focal point. And so at first I really liked all of these big pieces. But the cool thing about these collage packs is that they do all the same patterns, but on a smaller scale. And I love that they provide like, you know, 2 different scales. I mean, obviously there's a lot more than 2 scales here, but essentially the same elements in a large and a small. So I decided to do small because I want to kind of build a character. I also am playing around with distressing this, these squares with this masking tape. It doesn't really work. You can tell I kind of pull up a square, I have to re-glue it down. It wasn't perfect, but it was experimenting. And that's what's so great about doing like this Collage Weekly Challenge is you can experiment with techniques. There's no harm in that. Like, I'm not going to sell these images. I'm not giving these things away as gifts. I'm not trying to, you know, do anything here other than explore and play. And so I really encourage you, if you haven't yet, you don't have to commit for the whole year. Just do it 1 week if you feel inspired and give yourself, you know, a space to play. So here I've got cheap acrylic paints like the Apple Barrel or whatever they call it. You know, the 50-cent tube of acrylic paint. And I love olive green so much. And so I decided I'd put some olive green and I'm putting it all around, even the edges. Again, more distressing. Now here y'all might be like, I have no idea where she's going with this. In fact, someone has left that comment before that they like, you know, sometimes are like, I have no idea where you're going with these things, but they work out. And yeah, you have to just trust the process, okay? Things may look crazy. You just keep going, keep pushing, or throw it in the trash. But I rarely throw anything away. I just keep going. And if it, you know, art is that way. There's usually an awkward place. It usually comes to a really awkward point before you're going to start feeling better about it. So yeah, I did. I put a red rooster in her hat. Or maybe it's her, I think it's her afro. I think that's her hair, really. And the measurement, which is one of the prompts, she has numbers in her teeth. So I thought that would work. But then I also have the word measure in there. And I made sure not to distress over that. I was like, I want to make sure I can still read the word measure. So I'm wanting to create kind of a background for her. Like she's blending too much. Her afro is the same color as my background, which was not intentional. And I could have put her on the other side. I think she would have stood out a little more, but I wanted to keep the part of the collage that says for love. And so I just decided, I already had the masking tape out. I decided to use the masking tape and kind of just randomly lay it around. I like it because it is a little bit transparent, but it just kind of breaks things up, ever so slightly, but enough that I can then make her pop out from the background just a little bit. There around her neck and her hair on that left side. I did go ahead and break out my razor blade because I wanted to put this face into the hair and make them feel like one piece. So those are like her bangs. We can call her a helmet head. Some people call her chicken head. It's not nice to call names. Names like that aren't nice. Don't call me chicken head. Oh, gosh, I digress. Okay, so I'm getting everything glued down. And no, I'm not done yet. I still feel like if I bring in one more element, I can really unify everything. I think the cracked pistachio really helped that I sprayed around. Y'all saw I sprayed with that distress ink. It's over there on the right of my screen right now. So yeah, I used that to spray around. That with the green olive are really nice. I feel like they make the piece more unified. But then I was kind of thinking splatter, and I decided, no, I'm going to do gilding flakes. I want gold. So, and I wanted more texture. So I took this gilding glue, which is from Prima. If you don't have gilding glue, don't stress out. Don't go buy it. You can use your regular like PVA glue. You'll just have to put your gilding flakes down when it's still wet, and you will have to leave it. You'll have to walk away, go get a treat, have a drink, call a friend, and then come back to your collage when it's all dry, and you can do the same thing I'm doing right now. So, but this glue is made for this. When it's transparent, you stick this stuff down. If you have the Tombow Mono green and white bottle, that's a latex glue, you could also use that because it's sticky when it dries. Okay, once it dries, then I bring out this box. This is my splatter box and my gilding box, and I start dusting off all the excess gold with my finger. Use the finger tool here. And I really love how this really pulled everything together. I made sure to put glue like in her afro, around the chicken, and all over the page. So it's done. I'm going to glue the prompts onto the back, and here it is, my final collage for week 24. I'm all caught up. I feel so good now. I hate being behind. I'm a very deadline driven person. So here's what it looks like. I think it's fabulous. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you see something here, like a technique that you want to try, or something that inspires you and makes you happy. That's what I want you to feel when you're here on my channel. So thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll see you later. Bye.